Greetings, everyone. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the difference between technology from many years ago and some real nice consumer technology that you can get right now for a whole lot less. I'm a retired security and CCTV consultant contractor. I retired about 10 years ago, and prior to that I had 20 years invested in my career in the industry. And the reason I've got all this stuff is I want to show you that what I used to have to install, like this pan-tilt zoom camera here, this would obviously be hanging like that and have the dome on it, and even the fixed cameras in the metal housings. Between that and a head end of, well, my last 5 years we were able to use digital DVRs. But prior to that, most of my career was analog, videotapes and multiplexers, and boy, that was a pain in the butt. So anyway, this is an 8-camera DVR. We used to use 16-camera DVRs, and even if we went PC-based, we could go to 32-camera. Most of my career was in government and commercial buildings. I don't think I did any residential. So this is kind of a treat showing you some residential stuff. In any case, this was thousands of dollars to do back then. And recently, I think, the past 8 to 10 years, things have really come around. Because what I used to do with this stuff, you can do it all with something like this, the ieGeek PTZ camera. And it's just amazing how the technology has progressed over the years and come down to the consumer level. And what we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead and do an unboxing, and we'll do a setup and an install. And you're going to see how easy it is to get something like this for under 150 bucks. I mean, that would have been unheard of many years ago. But right now, there's a lot of it out there, and I want to show you why I think that perhaps this is the best option. So let's dive into it, and let's do some unboxing and move on. Here we go. Let's do the unboxing of this ieGeek solar-powered camera. It's the zxgx1s. And to be truthful with you, I've got the white version of this, but where it's going to go, I really need the black version. So I had good luck with the white version. There's no reason why I shouldn't have it with this. Let's open it up here and see what we come up with, huh? And here's some user manual for the solar. And obviously the solar panel and its cable. And here's the camera itself. Let's pull this out of here. And I did cheat a little bit. I opened this last night and I charged it up so we wouldn't have to worry about that. We'll move the box out of the way. Anyway, this is really a neat little device. And I'm sure you'll see that as we move on here. Before we forget, let's pull this off and put that in the box. And let's read some of the things that you get with this. This is a charging cable, so you can charge it up without the solar panel. Here is the mount for the solar panel. Move them off to the side. And the solar panel itself comes with its own cable. Okay, what does this say it has? Here we go. Okay. Make sure it's in this picture here. As I said, it's a zxgx1s. It's got both color night vision and the IR night vision, and we'll explain that as we go on, because it does have a couple bright white LEDs on it for nighttime use, and without them it's going to be the basically black and white in the IR mode. But when those lights go on, and they can be triggered either by motion or by you going into the app and turning the camera on. When those lights come on, you'll get color at night. And this is going to be for a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. It won't work with the 5. So you want to make sure that you do have the capability of doing 2.4. It's got both a mic and a speaker on it, so you can have two-way conversation with somebody outside. And it'll take a micro SD card up to 128 gigabyte. Plus there's an optional cloud storage you can use too. There's a cost for that. And I'm personally going to use a, what do I have here? I think it's a 64 gig. Yeah, I have a 64 gig. And I believe that's sufficient for this type of camera, since it's not in, you're not able to do a 24/7 recording. It's basically only event recording. And in that case, you really don't need the 128. 64 should be more than sufficient. Okay, let's bring the camera out here. And you're going to see a couple plugs. Right here you have the, you see that right there? That is for the solar panel to plug into. And right here you got a little trap door. Under that you have a place for the SD card. And since we got that open, let's go ahead and put the SD card in there. Come on. Let's see. I believe it goes in this way. Yep. Okay. This is your power to power it up, and here's your reset for when you're setting it up. As you can see, this camera has the pan and it's got the tilt. But what you need to know is that the zoom portion of this is a digital zoom. That means you're going to go on your app and you're going to kind of go like that to zoom in on the image. And being a digital zoom, all you're doing is increasing the size of the pixels. And as many of you know, when you do something like that, you're going to get less resolution on the image. The large PTZ cameras that are out there for thousands of dollars, they have optical zoom. And you can zoom those suckers in like, I think it's times 20, and hardly lose any image quality. But I wouldn't promise you that you're going to have excellent picture when you do that with the zoom. Obviously, it just depends on how much you zoom in. So, enough said of that. Here's your two LEDs, and they're also your, these are white light for at night, and they're also your IR illuminators. Here's your mic. Or actually, I believe this is indicates when you have power, and your mic is probably, let's see, can I find it? There's your speaker right there. And no, I was right the first time. That is your mic. Your little, right here and right here, you got some LEDs that'll tell you when you've got power and when you're resetting and things like that. So, here's your high gain antennas for your Wi-Fi connection, and it works really good. I've got cameras out more than 100 feet from the house, and the signals have to pass through concrete block and stucco, and I'm getting pretty good signals. Let's take this off. The battery's built in, and you're not going to be able to replace that so you want to make sure you don't damage it on charging and things like that. Here's your mounting bracket. And it's real easy to mount this. Basically, depends on your surface. You can use the all four hose for mounting. And then all you have to do is put it together like that. And you've got four. Actually, they even give you an extra one in case you lose it. I've done that before. You've got four of the little screws here that will screw in and hold it down. It's real easy to put on. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and boot this sucker up and see what we can get. First, we want to go into the app. And the app is one of the reasons I went with the ieGeek in the first place, because I really liked the Cloud Edge app. And as you can see, I've got other cameras on here, and they work really neat. Here, I'll show you a couple. Let's see, there's our front door. And let's go back in. Come on. We've got some construction going on next door, and the owners asked me if I'd kind of keep an eye on the property, so that's what I'm doing as much as possible. And I'll show you what I mean by the pinch and zoom. Let's see. Come on. There we go. You see how when I zoom that, it distorts it a little bit. All right, let's back up here. Come on, out of there. There you go. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit this little plus. This little plus sign right there. Now it's asking me what kind of camera we want to set up. And that would be a battery camera. Okay, now we're going to hold the device power button to start up. I don't like spinning this manually like this. It's never really an ideal thing to do, but you almost have to in this situation. Okay, we're going to press the battery button to wake it up. There we go. And, you know, they say that you should be doing this near your router. Unfortunately, I'm quite a ways away from my router, so if this doesn't work the first time, I'm going to have to move it. And let's go to the next thing here. Uh-oh. Yep. No, I guess I don't need a pin. Hold the reset button on the device like that until you hear a little beep. Come on. Come on. Why aren't you doing it? There. And we have a flashing, see that flashing indicator right there? That means it's ready to go to the next step. We're going to stay on the 2.4 gigahertz. And see there, it says don't do the 5. Okay, I'm going to take this away from the camera a bit here so I can do this without you seeing my magic passwords. All right. Now, the next step is for the camera to see this QR code. That'll tell the camera what kind of app we're using, and also it'll finish the connection. So I'm going to go like that. And now let's scan that. Do you hear that? That means it saw it and it knows what it's doing. Okay, let's go next. And it's connecting. Bingo. Okay. Now my device, you can rename this device later on if you wish. But we're going to click on that. Next. Put camera and phone at a place of installation. Okay. We're going to pretend we did that. I'll show you how to install it a little bit. And here we go. Come on. Right now the signal's a little weak, but there is the image. Whoops. All right. Next. And again, it's telling me that the signal is weak and it's not fit for installation like this. And this is not where I'm installing it, so that really doesn't make much difference. We got the connection made, and right now I think we're going to go out and mount it, and then we'll show you some more neat little tricks with this thing. See you in just a bit. All right, it's been a while since I've climbed a ladder this tall, and as you can see, I've got the solar panel and the mount already in here, so all we have to do is slide that on to the mount. And come on, let's see how she goes. There we go. I'm not going to tighten it up completely yet. And now for the other side. You can see why I wanted to use black here. This is real dark anodized aluminum, the screen and everything. Some people prefer to have their cameras stick out like a sore thumb for the deterrent value. And that is usually a good thing to do, except in this case, I'm looking more for aesthetics. So it's real nice to have the option to get the black camera for something like this. Uh-oh, I hear thunder. Yeah, we're down in Florida, so it's pretty hot right now, hot and humid. And these cameras really handle the Florida weather, the moisture and the heat, and obviously the solar panel loves the sun. So next, we need to plug this in, and I don't know if you can see this the way I'm pointing the camera, but there's this little tab here that opens up, and put that back on. That way you can put this in. It's kind of a weather seal. So there, that's pretty much all that's to it. It works really well. What do you say we go in and try it out? Okay, we're back inside. Let's go into the app here. And come on, do this. And go into the Cloud Edge app. And this app is probably one of the main reasons I started going with the ieGeek cameras, because they're one of the few cameras that will work with this app, and I really love it. So as you can see, I've got other cameras on here, and this is the one we're going to go into right now. And I've already renamed it North, and this is the view I want to end up with, and you'll see how I get there in a bit here. My Wi-Fi signal is only about 50% now. It fluctuates a little bit. That's probably on the low end, but I'm going through a lot of concrete blocks and a lot of stucco for that signal to get to my router. And we want to go into the setup here. I'll show you a few things. We do want to receive notifications. You can toggle that on and off. And alarm management. That's where you want to go set your detection sensitivity. It's at 7. And then we go into the alarm working mode. And that will give us a few options. You can do set power save, where you can limit the clips that are used, or performance mode. As it says here, humanoid detection is enabled by default, and the recording time is automatically extended as default humanoid sensitivity. And in the custom mode, you go into that and you can set a bunch of variables here, whether you want the recording time to be 10 seconds, 20 or 30. Normally I would probably do 30 seconds. Again, we're on event recording, so unless you have a lot of traffic, I don't think you'll burn up much battery on that. Alarm interval is off. If you set to one of these, it's going to be that 2 minutes before it'll trigger again. If it's off, then it'll trigger again and again, back-to-back times if you keep moving around out there. And it can be annoying too. So again, it all depends on how much traffic you have in the area where the camera is going to be. Humanoid detection, daytime and nighttime, you have the options. We're going to go back here, and in fact, I think we're going to go into the performance mode. And I'll show you why that's important here in a little bit when we do the masking for motion areas and that. So let's back out of here. You have the option of telling the camera if you want it to strobe the white lights and do an audio warning, audio alarm warning at the camera if it senses activity. I rarely use that, but you can turn it on if you want. And let's go back. And okay. Okay, let's go into the camera video. And as you can see there, I have FHD, full high definition. If you want, you can go back down to standard definition. In fact, let's do that. Let's do standard definition while we're playing with it here, because it's going to be, you're going to have quicker response times. Not that it's going to be perfect. It depends on your Wi-Fi and everything. But you should be able to get a more responsive. Oops, I went the wrong way there. We want to go this way. Come on. Keep going, baby. Well, let's try it this way. Let's go in and let's pull up the directional pad here. Let's see, I want to go this way, right? Yeah, see, it's... and again, it depends on how fast your Wi-Fi is and if you have a good connection. Keep going. Come on. We want to go to what I want to look at here. And that would be the north side of my house. And we're about there. Yeah, and this here is our lanai, so that's the screen you see there. And I can go up a bit here. There we go. Let's go over a little bit more. And the good thing about this is, in fact, I'm going to show you that right now. Let's go into settings there, and we're going to go and do alarm management. We'll set right at now it's a 6. I think we'll go to move it up to a 7 for sensitivity, because there's not much going on that side of the house. Come on. There we go. And the alarm mode, you set this to tell it how you want it to do human detection and things like that. We'll keep it at this for now. We'll go back and we're going to go into the alert plan. Oh, nope, I take that back. Let's go into the alarm area. Okay, now it's going to show me that camera again. And if we do this, you see those spots in the human detection mode, it's only going to send off alerts when it sees and sense, when the artificial intelligence, the AI, sees movement here. It's going to look at just this area and verify that it's a human as opposed to a dog or a rabbit or whatever. And let's hit save. There we go. We go back, and the reason that's important to me is because I don't want to be intruding on my neighbor's privacy here. So I really don't want to see what's going on over here. And the setting we set it at is only going to set off motion triggers when it senses human activity in this area. And it should ignore everything over here, which I'm sure my neighbor would appreciate. Then again, maybe not. Maybe they'd want me to watch their house. But for right now, the only time I'm going to be getting alerts is if there's human activity in this area. So this basically shows you the daytime view. And I'm going to come back with you here in a little bit once it gets dark. And I'll show you a couple nighttime shots there. And I'll get that ladder out of the way too. So there, that's a good shot of it. And we will be back shortly. All right, we're back. Now let's go into this camera and let's see what it's seeing at nighttime. And while we're at it, let's change this back to full high definition. And let's go this route too. It gives you a better idea of what I'm seeing. And as you can see, that's using IR light right there. And that is pretty darn good. And what we can do, we can turn the light on outside, and that should bring in some color. This is going to turn on the white light. There we go. Now we got color. And I see we also have some bugs flying in front of it. But that white light will come on automatically when the system detects human motion. When it records that clip, the white light will come on. And sometimes I prefer just to use the IR light for a couple of reasons. One reason is that the person out there is not going to know they're on camera. I mean, if you want them to know that, then fine. You can set it up to turn on the light and even make some noise when it senses motion. But sometimes I just like to know that they're there before they know that I know. Did that make sense to you? Okay, I think that about does it. I hope that helps you out and gives you a good idea of what this camera can do. Again, it's a very nice camera. I like it, and I highly recommend it. And you can't go wrong for what it costs. You get a whole lot of bang for the buck. Actually, before I sign off, let's try one thing here. Nope, not that. There we go. We're gonna go into the quad mode here. This is bringing up all 4 of my cameras right now out there, and I think it's really neat how it does it. I just thought I'd give you that as a going away gift here for my video. I hope I helped you out, and take care. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.